When local families face a crisis, whether it's no food, no money for prescriptions, nowhere to turn, there's a place that steps in to help. Joining us now to share more about the mission and impact of Victoria Christian Assistance Ministry, or VCAM, we have Executive Director Mark Hinojosa and Board President Soila Shoemake. Thank you both for coming in. We appreciate it.
Good morning.
Thanks for having us.
So in a few minutes, we're going to be talking about a fundraiser that you have coming up. But first, we want to make sure that people understand what VCAM is all about and the important role that you play in the community. So kind of give us a brief summary for people who aren't familiar with the organization.
Well, thanks. That's a very, very good question, because a lot of times VCAM, or Victoria Christian Assistance Ministry, kind of falls under the radar. We are, I guess in layman's terms, we're the food pantry for Victoria County. A lot of people get us confused with the food bank. We're actually the biggest customer for the food bank, being the largest that serve Victoria County. So, you know, the mission is providing hope when things seem hopeless, meaning food. I mean, that's a staple item that everybody's got to have on their table, in their pantry, in their refrigerators. So we're there to make sure that we get food out to the residents that are in need.
How many people do you help in a typical month?
In a typical month, we're talking about 1,500 families, which encompasses about close to 4,000 people, and that's monthly, you know, the households there. And when you compare it to the pre-COVID numbers that we were serving, we're serving about 500 more families a month than we used to just 5 years ago. So.
Probably a lot of factors in that, with COVID, inflation, just a lot of things factored in.
All of the factors that you mentioned,
the job
COVID,
market.
and especially the job market, today's economy, and most significantly are the cuts in SNAP. The SNAP program right now, there's been a significant cut in there. So we're seeing a population that we've never seen before, where we might get 30 or 40 new families a month. It's not uncommon for us to see signing up 100 new families monthly. So.
And as you alluded to, food is kind of where you start.
That's it.
You know,
that's the foundation of the program.
But you also offer other resources, clothing and things like that. Tell us about some of the other resources that you have.
And all the services we provide are free, and that's through the generosity of the community and the local grants and the foundations. So with that being said, yeah, food is the foundation, what we're built on, but we have a free family clothing store, and that's built strictly on donations. And then we also, whenever we do have funding available, we'll provide funding for prescription assistance, like you mentioned before, utilities assistance when we refer it from other agencies, or we get the referral from other agencies. And also what we have are gasoline vouchers, which is something that we started a few years ago. And what they are is they're out-of-town gas cards for medical appointments. You know, people maybe like, you know, in someone that suffered from cancer, that makes frequent trips to Houston and they don't do it locally. We're here to help that little bit that we can. So.
Sure. And so you serve on the board. Why is this such an important mission and part of our community to you, that you're involved?
Well, because it aligns with what we should do as Christians: feed the hungry, clothe the naked, help the needy. And I personally didn't even know VCAM existed or what they did until I was asked to serve on the board, and I was just so in awe of everything that they do, the volunteers, and just serving on the board. I'm very happy to be a part of that, to help with that. And I've gone to volunteer a few times myself, and it's such an important need in our community and other communities that come from outside of Victoria, people who also come from outside. And yeah, I love seeing people get the help that they need through VCAM. Yeah. And the volunteers are amazing.
And it really is volunteer driven. If it weren't for the volunteers.
Yes.
Right, I'm glad that she mentioned that, because we are primarily a volunteer run organization. So, you know, it's just myself, and I have a few part-time staff just to kind of keep things in order. But it's a real simple operation, and you know, for being such a simple operation, it serves such a much needed need here in the county and all over, you know. So.
Absolutely. Well, VCAM has a very important event coming up, so don't go away. Right after this, we will find out the details and how you can be a part of their fundraiser. We are back with Mark Hinojosa, Executive Director, and Soila Shoemake, Board President for Victoria Christian Assistance Ministry, or VCAM. And we've learned about the mission now of VCAM and how you're helping to support the community. But one way that you're able to do that is through your annual fundraiser. Obviously, the more funds you raise, the more people you're able to help, the more that you're able to do. And that fundraiser is underway. So tell us a little bit about what you're doing this year to raise those funds.
Well, what we've done for the last several years, it's a real simple raffle ticket fundraiser that we have, and I'd like to give kudos to HEB because HEB has always been a real big provider and supporter of our raffle ticket fundraiser, and it's the only fundraiser that we hold every year. So all of the funds that we get are all generated in-house or through grants and local foundations. We don't deal with any kind of federal or state monies or anything like that. So it's all in-house and it's all about the community. So with this one fundraiser, and it is board driven. I mean, the board is the one that puts it on and does all the legwork, selling the tickets and things like that. But it goes a long way when you consider just 3 years ago, our food budget was $65,000. Now it's $120,000. That's where we've really taken a hit there, that we've had to cut back on some of the other financial assistance that we do provide.
So that's really the way that you're able to keep the food pantry operating. But all of this stays local. That's, I think, really the biggest thing, is it stays here locally and it helps people here locally.
That's
right?
correct. That's correct. Everybody that comes through our doors, it's an organized system. It's simple, but it's an organized system. It's very well run. I think Zoila can attest to how very well run it is and how dedicated the volunteers are. And you're talking probably over 40 or 50 volunteers, because there's different faces every day that we see, but they come acclimated to the clientele, because big part of our clientele also, they come on a monthly basis. Well, we talk about the homeless. The homeless community is a big part of our clientele, and they can come on a daily basis for any of their needs. Anything from not just perishable foods, they can get clothing, how important that is for them. They can get hygiene kits, things of that nature, everything to provide some sort of dignity to them. So the fundraiser aligns directly with that.
Right. What are some of the prizes that are being...
The main prize is a $1,000 HEB gift card, and then a variety of other dollar amount gift cards, $500, $800 HEB gift cards to various restaurants in the area, gift baskets for people who love fishing, Waterloo fishing rod and fishing reel, and a 4-hour guided fishing trip in Port O'Connor.
Okay, so a little bit of a variety.
Something for everybody.
Right. So how does someone go about buying tickets if they're interested?
So we have this great QR code here. You can go directly to the website. Oop, that's got pictures. You can go directly to the VCAM Facebook page or the website. There'll be a QR code there that you can click. It'll take you to a PayPal page, and you can pay, or you can go directly to VCAM. We'll have tickets there, or any of the board members who are selling them. They're $5 each, or you can get a whole book, 6 for $25.
Okay, and of course on our website, crossroadstoday.com, we'll also post a link to that page to be able to purchase them if anyone is interested. So just real briefly looking ahead, what's in store for the future of VCAM? What are y'all, kind of planning for here in the near future?
Okay, I think what's important to say before I go on with that is the drawing is not until Friday, October the 24th. You need not need to be present to win.
Correct.
So, there's still time.
A little bit, not too much.
That's right.
Don't wait too long.
You know how Victoria is. So, kind of the future is to keep aligned with the mission that we're doing. I know we've had some talk in years past about, VCAM and where we're located, which is 108 North Liberty. It's downtown, and the building that we're in is not really designed correctly for what we've done. We made some modifications in order to make it work, but maybe somewhere down the line, look for a bigger facility or build from the ground up, if we can get the funding to do that, of course, So, but just continue to serve the way we continue to serve, and kind of hoping that these numbers that we're serving now kind of level off, because they keep ever increasing. It's like, but it seems like, always when when there's a window that's closed, God opens a door, or vice versa. You know what I'm saying. So
Yeah, he'll provide.
that's
So,
right.
All right. Well, thank you, Soila. Thank you, Mark, for coming in. We
Thank
appreciate
you.
it and hope that it's another very successful fundraiser for you.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.